thank y'all again for being here and everything you do. Top 3 tonight, Christopher Bell, Damion Gardner, Michael Pickens. Fire away and don't be shy.
Christopher, you had a pretty easy run at it.
Yeah, I don't know if that was easy or not, but Keith definitely had me dialed in, and the car pretty much drove itself around there. And it was just kind of avoiding the lap cars and making sure I didn't get caught up in anything stupid.
I guess the lap traffic would be the biggest factor here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with how the track was tonight, it was really good. You had guys running the bottom and running the top, and I ran the bottom there the first couple laps, and then decided to jump up to the top. But I really wasn't committed to the top. If there were lap cars around the top, then I would hop back down to the bottom and try and get around them.
I guess this means quite a bit to win this preliminary.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Chili Bowl is the race to me. If there's one race I could run a year, it'd be here, and especially with it being my home state, you know. And I guess this is kind of one of the few times I get to race in Oklahoma, which is around my home crowd. So it really is something special to me.
Thanks.
Christopher, talk about that move over there in 3 and 4. You went 3 wide down the middle. I think the paper team was on the outside. A little dicey right there at that very moment. That was a pretty balls out move, I must say.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't get quite the run I was looking for whenever I went underneath the Havertee, but he ended up bobbling on the cushion and I was able to squeak by.
Yeah. Michael, you and Kevin, quite the battle there, cut back. He got by you there that one time. Take us through those sequence of laps right there.
Yeah, I wasn't, totally comfy in my car, so I was, sort of settled for third and happy to be locked in. And yeah, all of a sudden Kevin comes up inside of me, so I had to pull my finger out and get going. Yeah, we're lucky enough. We had a little bit left, and probably had another 10% left, and we were able to shake him off. And yeah, come up behind Damion there toward the end. But like I said, I mean, we're happy just to be locked in. The goal for tonight is to get that locked in deal for Saturday and not have to race again until the end.
A few years ago, I remember one of your crew members coming up after a good run. I can't remember what night it was, and you got a little ripper. You remember that?
Yeah, that seems to have stuck.
Yeah.
One of my sponsors from back home was Little Ripper Salami Stick, so yeah, I guess that stuck. But we're happy. I've got to thank Joe Dillon, the car owner, Rusty Kearns, the crew chief, and all the guys. Essling Engineering, they rebuilt the motor on Tuesday after we had our oil line come off on practice. So everyone's done a terrific job, and yeah, I've got to thank them for making it possible.
Damion, this is a pretty big deal. You got yourself in position to win again last week, obviously driving Jason's car. The only win that he had was as an owner, not a driver. Your chances feeling going into this event?
Yeah, yeah, we just got a little work to do. We weren't quite as good in traffic, and we got close, but like Pickens said, we ran around a second, and Bell got away. So we just try to make clean laps and get through the traffic as good as we can without getting caught up in anything. But Bondio and the crew guys, they've been working hard and they got the car running pretty well. So we just make some little fine tuning for Saturday night and hope we can give them a run.
You all three could comment about the cushion. It was rough and rugged up there, man. It was some cowboy up stuff out there tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was really tricky. I was watching there in the B features, and it was getting gnarlier and gnarlier, and built up taller and taller. But Keith he really had me dialed in tonight, and my car was good, and I was able to really run right up next to it and not really toss the nose. I did toss the nose maybe 3 or 4 times off 4, but like I said, I was able to figure it out, and Keith's car was so nice that I was able to get by.
You guys talked about the cushion as well, pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty nice racetrack as far as I'm concerned. I mean, when you have a nice ledge like that, you can slide a guy and have something to catch you. I thought it was pretty good, and you could still run the bottom like Christopher said earlier. And that's all you can ask for is 2 lanes to race on. And obviously, with Kevin coming from the back up to maybe 4th, I think it was in the end, it proves that you could pass on it. So it was really neat, and I'm hoping we get something similar for Saturday night.
Yeah, they were saying the curve was, I call it a curve, but it's pretty, it can be wicked at times, and it was just, it creates a lot of errors. So just trying to get around there 25 clean ones, and if you do that, you should be able to go pretty good. But it definitely made it tricky, and made the bottom keep up a little bit. So if you made a mistake, the guys could get up on the bottom. But that's part of what made it good racing. Kind of made it get us good to the traffic too. But I'd rather have it that than just be right around the bottom. No curves. So.
With as fast as the laps as you're turning in a race like tonight, especially when it goes non-stop, are you cognizant at all of where certain other competitors are on the track? Are you thinking about the fact that 39 is coming through the field? I mean, you guys were kind of racing with them. Christopher, were you worried?
definitely. I mean, there was one time I passed the first lap car, and then he moved to the bottom because he had been running the top, and then he started keeping up with me, and I kept seeing his nose down there. I was like, oh crap, Damion's down there. But yeah, we got going pretty good on top there.
That's amazing when you lap somebody and he hangs with you, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, well, with there being 70-something cars tonight, I mean, there's definitely 24 good ones, and
Oh, yeah.
there were several times I'd catch the lap cars and they'd pull back away from me, and then I'd run them back down. But I mean, there's not very many slow cars out there.
No. Do you notice coming off 4 that you're picking the front end up? Do you feel that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I could definitely tell that the front wheels were lifting a little bit, I guess.
Damion, did you feel yours?
Yeah, I can feel them come up. You know, you can feel the car shock up, and you got to kind of watch it. You know, watch not tossing the nose. So you know, it depends on where you are in the corner.
You better be straight, right?
Oh yeah, you better be aiming the right direction.
You feel yours? Did you get up any?
Yeah, as small as this track is, and as much gear as we run in the cars because of the size, you know, the car's always going to be quite lively. So
Lively, I like that.
It's
Lively.
it's a characteristic of racing a chili bowl.
So it makes the chili bowl so nice.
Say again?
Said that's what makes the chili bowl so nice.
Chris, you started out on the bottom and then ended up moving up top. Was that part of the strategy going in, or?
No, I mean, before I strapped in the car, I pretty much committed. I said, you know what, I'm just going to rip the top, and if I see someone's nose on the bottom, then I go down there. But then whenever they pushed me out there, I was looking at the racetrack, and I was like, you know what, the bottom doesn't look too bad. So I just stayed down there, and I could feel it starting to get slower and slower, and that's whenever I made up my mind I was going to go to the top and try it.
I was going to ask you one more thing about that whole Kevin sequence. He was by you on the bottom, and you go back down the bottom. Was your car not good enough? Because you went right back up the top. It looked like you wanted to try to take his line away from him, but it didn't stick there.
In 3 and 4 here, he actually slid up in front of me on the cushion, and then I diamond down back underneath him. And then I ran the bottom in 1 and 2 because I figured he was going to come back at me again. And we got through 1 and 2 pretty good, and then I went back to the top and never saw him again. So yeah, it's one of those deals. I guess when Kevin Sundell slides you, got to pull fingering and pick up the pace a little bit. And we're lucky enough we had a bit more in the tank to shake him off.
Is that a little bit of a disadvantage for you? Because these guys have raced against most of the other guys and other stuff. You've been here a few years, but that still has to be a little bit of an advantage, not knowing exactly what guys are going to do as much as they did.
I mean, yeah, everyone's puts their shoes on the same way in the morning, I suppose.
You probably know what Kevin's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's no disadvantage of it. I mean, pretty well everyone's got similar equipment, and you know, this is up to the drivers to get the job done. So, yeah, I mean, Kevin and Sam have obviously got this place figured out, but you know, they're beatable, and you can't look at them as being unbeatable, that's for sure.
And I think that's a pretty good way to end it. All right.